Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So jumping straight into it, I'm going to show you how I created this brown geode cake that you saw in the thumbnail, of course. So I'm just going around doing the usual, crumb coating my cake, so you guys know how this goes. I'll see you on the other side. So I would highly recommend this acrylic scraper, guys. I got it at the start of this year, or either at the start of this year or towards the end of last year, and honestly it's worked a treat. I used to use metal ones, which worked fine as well, but I really like the fact that this acrylic one is really tall and therefore works really well on my tall cakes. And not to mention, of course, how smooth it gets the cake. So I would definitely recommend this to you guys. And of course, if you'd like the link, that would be in the description box below. Great, so once I'm happy with my crumb coat, I actually go around once more, and I go around very slowly to make sure that I'm getting out all the air bubbles and I'm also getting the cake as smooth as possible. So initially I go quite fast, well, medium to fast speed, and then towards the end I go on a low speed to make sure that I'm getting the cake as smooth as possible. So now that I'm happy with the cake, I pop that in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes, and once the cake is out, it's time to do the second and final layer of icing. So I colored the buttercream to this brown / caramelly color. It's not chocolate, it's just coloring, and I'm just putting that around my cake and pretty much doing the same process. So of course I'm just going in with my big spatula, making sure that the buttercream is nice and even on the cake, and then I'm going to go in with my scraper to scrape this out, make it smooth and nice so that we have our smooth finish. Okay, so once I'm happy with the smoothness of the cake, I pop it back in the fridge for 20 to 30 minutes again. And now, as you can see, I'm cutting off the lip of icing on the edge of the cake. And this is basically so that the cake can have a really nice sharp edge. And I do this with a warm knife. So once I'm happy that I've cut off the sharp edges, you can see me now destroying the cake. But don't worry guys, it's all for a good cause. So this is actually how you do the geode effect. So you want to go in, and I usually like to do triangles. So I go in and I just make indents on my icing of how far or how big I want my geode to be, basically. And I'm doing this upside down triangle, and I also do one on the bottom as well. So this is a double geode cake, so it's going to have some geode on the top and some geode on the bottom as well. And I basically do my indent to show and indicate where I want to have my geode effect, and then I start cutting into the cake. So you first of all want to cut away the icing, and then you want to cut away the actual cake, as you'll see me doing. I'm now going deeper into the cake, so I'm cutting into the icing and also into the cake, and you'll see me also cut on the top, and this icing piece will soon come off. Yep, and that exposes the actual cake, so what's underneath. And then I'm gonna go in and do the same with the cake. So you don't want to cut too far into the cake, but you want to cut far enough so your geode can actually sit inside. So once I'm happy with the top, I then move on to the bottom, and it's the same thing. I'm literally just cutting away at the icing and also at the cake to a point where I'm happy with how deep it is. Now that I have my 2 triangles cut out, I know what you're thinking. The cake is ruined, but do not fear. This is where the magic starts to happen. So I've got my buttercream icing here. So this is the same buttercream that I used to do the second layer of icing, the colour of the cake, as you can see. So I'm just going into those triangles. I'm going into the first cutout that I've done, and I'm just placing this around that cutout until it's all nice and covered, so you don't actually want to see any naked part of the cake. Great, so now I'm going in to do the actual geode effect, and I've got some candy sugar crystals here. This is the brand that I'm using, and I got this off Amazon. Yep, I got this off Amazon, and I basically colored some. So I'm doing like an ombre gold effect. I've basically colored some and left some clear. And if you'd like to know how I colored the sugar crystals, just let me know. But basically what I'm doing now is I'm going in with the brown/gold, and I'm putting that in the center of the cutout, and I will put a few around, and then when I get to a point that I'm happy with it, I'm actually going to put the clear one on the outside. So it's almost a reverse ombre geode effect that you guys will see. So I'm almost done, and this is what it looks like with just the gold ones in the middle, and then I'm gonna go in with my clear sugar crystals around the edges. So now I'm putting my clear crystals around the edges, and I will just build this out until the whole cutout is filled with the crystals. So following on from this, I will then go on and do the bottom cutout, the same exact thing, gold in the center and clear around the edges. And once I'm happy with that, it's time to decorate the top of the cake. So this cake was actually a customer's 25th birthday cake. So she requested some flowers. So I'm just going in now and putting in some white flowers on the top of the cake. I put about 3 to 4 flowers at the top of the cake, and then I also added in some macarons, as you will see. So once I put my last flower on, I then went on and added in my macarons. So the florals looked nice, but the macarons just added that extra level of uniqueness. So I actually made these and colored them brown and nude to match the color of the cake. And I just went on and added in about 3 at the top, which really just gives it that perfect, unique, classy touch. So as you can see, I did then go on and add some more macarons to the back of the cake, just to tie in the theme really. So we have florals, geode and macarons as well. I then proceeded to use the gold glitter spray to really bring it to life and to give it that glowy finish that we want. So this is the final look, everybody. Let me know what you think. I personally really liked and enjoyed making this cake just because I think it was very unique, especially the geode and the macarons. So let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video. God bless.